This is the Midtown Comics exclusive cover by J. Scott Campbell. There's like 5 billion variant covers, but obviously that's the one you should get. Totally unbiased plug out of the way. Uncanny Avengers is written by Rick Remender and has art by John Cassaday, so it's good to see Cassaday back, along with Laura Martin on colors. With that art team, you definitely get kept thinking of Astonishing X-Men, which those two did with Joss Whedon. So those are kind of big shoes to fill, but Rick Remender has been doing really good work. I thought Uncanny Avengers was one of the best Marvel books in like years probably, so I was totally ready to go into this expecting good things. I mean, regardless of what you think of how Avengers versus X-Men ended, you know, this is where we are. And when I say this, I guess we're talking about a team that has Avengers and X-Men on it. Although it felt a lot more like X-Men, probably because Thor doesn't do much of anything, and Havoc actually goes to see Cyclops, talking about how Cyclops, spoiler alert, killed Professor X. And can I just say, because I didn't get to talk about this when the book came out, because I wasn't doing my vlog then, but I did not even know Professor X was dead. I mean, it's like Cyclops got all mad, and then he was like, "You're not my dad," and he like burst all the flame on him, and then Professor X like collapsed. And the only reason I even knew he was dead, I guess, was when I read it in the news articles. Marvel's really good at getting the hype machine going for their books. So, you know, you're like, Professor X is dead, and I didn't even know that. Anyway, rambling aside, Rick Remender, Uncanny Avengers. A lot of good character work here. There's not a lot of interaction because they're just kind of setting the team up. Wolverine has a really good scene giving a eulogy for Professor X, which is kind of restrained, but you can feel what's going on. Remender does show a big bad at the end of the book, who probably most of you know who it is, but I won't say if you don't know. So that shows some promise. Like I said, Remender did really well with Uncanny X-FORCE and also Secret Avengers, so I think even if this book wasn't the strongest out of the gate, I look for this to be pretty good going down the road. Out this week from DC, a couple number ones interested me. The first one being Ame-Comi Girls, number one, or Ame-Comi Girls Wonder Woman number one. There's a whole series of books that are based on the Ame-Comi figures, which are pretty cool looking. Written by Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti, and this particular issue has art by Ame-Comi, which is always awesome. If you miss Power Girl, which don't we all, this is definitely the book to pick up, because it's got Ame-Comi doing all kind of... Actually, it's a lot like Power Girl, but there's sort of a magical sense to this book, which she really carries off. I'm not really sure what Ame-Comi cannot do, but she's doing it all pretty much in this book. If you miss Power Girl, this is the book. Although I will say, there's also, Ame-Comi for some reason does art from page 1 to 20, and then for the last, I guess, 10 pages, Tony Akins does that art, and he's like decent, but he's no Ame-Comi. So, other than that, this was a pretty engaging and fun issue, and you know, I'm actually interested to read the rest of the Ame-Comi Girls, because they're all gonna link together. So, that was pretty fun. On the other side of the coin, we have The Phantom Stranger number one, written by Dan Didio, which you would think, you know, was not good. At least I would think that. But surprisingly, it was actually, I enjoyed it a lot. It was sort of the opposite of Ame-Comi Girls, because it was very dark. Like, couldn't believe what was going on with this character. Which it also guest stars Raven from the Teen Titans. Or, I don't know if Raven was in Teen Titans in the New 52 universe, but anyway, it's Raven who was the character that was in the Titans in the regular universe. So I'm actually interested to see where this book goes. We'll see. And lastly, we have Halloween Eve from Image Comics, a one-shot written by Brandon Montclair with art by Amy Reeder. And Amy Reeder, I think, really kicks butt in this issue. It's like, the story is about a girl who works in a costume shop, and it's the day before Halloween, and she gets transported into this sort of Halloween world where everything's very magical, and Rita really totally transforms the shop setting into this crazy magical Halloween world that the girl falls into. There's also that's definitely the selling point of the book to me. There's also some statements about who you are, or identity, or what it means to wear costumes and things like this, which I think actually didn't really work for me. But then again, Eve, the girl's name is Eve, says something like, you know, guys don't understand girls, and I admit it's true. So at least that's my excuse for not understanding it. Maybe could be also that I'm a little bit dumb sometimes. But joking aside, this was a pretty good book. I wouldn't be me if I didn't say this last part. I feel like, well, it was really cool to see a person of color, a black girl, as the main character in a book, because that's so rare. She was really well done. I have to say, as a grumpy minority, I wasn't happy that she fell in love with the white guy. I don't know. I mean, I know that's how it's set up, and again, grumpy minority, what can I say? I would rather have seen her, you know, fall for the Asian guy. There's an Asian guy in the book. Of course, he's like kind of fat and not as good-hearted as the skinny, white, handsome guy. So, I don't know. If you guys had switched it up a little bit, that would have been really cool. But again, that's just the grumpy minority complaint. Otherwise, really good job from Montclair and Reader. So definitely check it out.